This is Sorrento section 3. So we're picking it up on page 53 in the Alfred's piano book. And we're doing the third line on page 53 to the end. So that we're still in D major. So we have two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. And the left hand still is doing a lot of pa pa. And then if you look at the next to the last line, so we're at line 4 on page 53. You do the G, and here, the third measure, you notice the bass note holds for all three counts. While you need to have a big reach here and do F sharp and A. And then the last measure on the next to the last line, A. And then the fermata, the dot with the circle, half circle over it, means to hold it at least as long as it's written, which in this case, the left hand is one beat, and it shares a chord with the right hand. And then you go on after one beat or more. So technically, you hold it for a while. You can hold it for as long as you want to. And then we'll talk about the last line in just a moment. But I want to get the right hand for the line 3 and line 4 on page 53. We do, so we're doing, instead of 1-5 here, since the top note goes up to E, we're doing 1 on F sharp and 4 on D, so we can leave our finger 5 for the E. Alright, so that's 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So when we put that together with both hands, together, right, together, and then left has beat 3, and right has the second half of beat 3, and then we go on. So practice that when you put it together, practice that very, very slowly. So the next measure, right hand there, we have G and C sharp, and it starts on the upbeat of 1. So the left hand has 1, so the right hand there, I'll repeat that as 1 and 2 and 3 and then the next line we have finger changes. We need to pull 4 and 2 over. Alright, that's really the best fingering to do there. So we're on the next to the last line of this piece, and we're on F sharp and A, and then the right hand has the next measure, G by itself. And then you sort of add to the G, the B flat, and then 4 and 2, we still have our B flat there, and D. The next measure, we have an F natural in the right hand. So to make this smooth, that's why they have 1-5, 1-4, 1-3, rather than going 1-5, 1-5, 1-5. You can do that, but if you have that stretch, it makes it a little bit smoother to do 1-4 and 1-3. And remember, the G and the E, the middle one there, is faster. So it's 1, 2, and 3. All right. The last measure is rest on one half. The first half of the count is 1 and 2, 3, and. So that last chord is on the very last half of the beat there. So both hands, it's left, right, together, and then we can hold that more than one count because there's a fermata there. Then the left hand has beat 3, the right hand goes to the last half of beat 3, 3 and. So it's 1 and 2, 3, and. All right, now we're at the last line, and that's a little weird. It's interesting how it does. Let's do the right hand first. Notice what is tied here. That's the most important thing. So when I play the first chord in the right hand, I'm playing an F natural, A, and D. That holds for 3 beats, but look at the next measure. The D, the top note, is tied, so I don't play that one again, but the bottom 2 notes go up. I do play the bottom 2 notes by themselves on the second measure, and that's a G and B flat. And now take a look at what's tied. The bottom G is tied. So the third measure, my G stays, and the top 2 notes go to A and C sharp by themselves. So notice what notes are tied here. And in the very end, the very last measure, a simple D chord, and then I'll do both hands here. The left hand comes up to the treble clef, and it's a roll up, and that can be done fast, or it can be done slow. It shows that as a half note, and you can take part of that 2 counts for the rolling up of that chord. So now let's look at the left hand for the last line. This is basically sort of a pattern, very similar to some of the melody patterns earlier in the piece, but we have an F natural here. And here, instead of going to 3, they recommend going to finger 2, and that gives us more of a stretch because we have to jump down to G with the B flat, and another 2, finger 2, and then the third measure, we jump down to E. And here, we're going to sort of contract, put our thumb on A, 2 comes over, which is much better than putting our thumb on B flat. A, 2 comes over to B flat, thumb stays on A again, and there we have a very simple reach for our last finger to D. And that's 1 count, although we'll be going slow there, and then the left hand comes up to the treble clef and to complete the piece. So that's the last part, the last section of Sorrento.